Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for attending Everything You Need to Know About Becoming a Life, Career, or Business Coach featuring Dr. Lyn Kelley. Dr. Lyn Kelley is a certified life coach and relationship coach, coach trainer, author, and speaker. Her goal is to help people move to the next level of success in their lives and relationships, whatever that may be. Dr. Kelley founded Grow Training Institute 25 years ago and offers coach training and certification, as well as continuing education courses. She has been providing coaching to individuals and businesses for over 25 years. Prior to becoming a coach, Dr. Kelley was licensed as a marriage and family therapist in California, which taught her to empathize, understand, support, validate, encourage, and empower people. Also important coaching skills, as I'm sure we can all imagine. Dr. Kelley has written 37 self-help books on relationships, life improvement, business, and virtual coaching. Her sincere desire is to help people in all areas of life improvement and would be honored to assist you with your goals with compassion and a bit of fun and humor. She's got a really great website, which I will share during the presentation, and a whole slew of amazing books as well. So I will provide her contact information so that you guys all have it. I'm your host, Andrea Camp, sales manager with Therapy Sites, and we specialize in building websites and online marketing solutions for mental health professionals, including coaches and therapists. I'd like to personally welcome each and every one of you to this free educational event. During today's session, Dr. Kelley is going to ask some questions to you, and we'd love for you to participate. So if you'd like to take a look at your GoToWebinar control panel, on there you'll see a questions tab. Feel free to use this tab to answer any questions, ask any of your own questions, and make any comments that you may have along the way. After the webinar has been concluded, we do have a quick survey. We'd love to hear your feedback. And now that we've got that all taken care of, let's meet our presenter, Dr. Lyn Kelley. Take it away, Dr. Kelley.
Hi, Andrea. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm super excited to be here and tell you about coaching and answer all of your questions, everything you've ever wanted to know about coaching. And Andrea already told you a lot about me. I was a licensed marriage and family therapist for 25 years or so. And I was offering seminars all over the country and some other countries for practice building and helping other therapists to be more successful. And the coaching was kind of an evolution that came out of that because a lot of my participants were asking about this new coaching rage that was going on that was founded by Thomas J. Leonard probably 35 years ago. And they were starting to get interested in it and wanted to know how they could get on the bandwagon because it really is our field. Coaching really is our field. And James Prochaska, Ph.D., psychologist who has done more research on therapy and counseling than anyone else in the world, has said that there are over 400 therapeutic modalities being used currently, and coaching is one of those modalities. So you can use the coaching modality in your practice even though you aren't officially a certified coach. You don't have to be certified or licensed to do coaching. However, there's a federal law that states that you do have to be able to prove competency in any service that you provide. So you have to have at least taken a few coaching courses that are accredited so that you, if you ever get called out on it, you can definitely prove that you do have that scope of competency. And Jay Haley said, most clients just need coaching. And he agreed with Thomas J. Leonard that most people really aren't broken. They just haven't been able to pull up outside of them, from the inside of themselves to the outside of themselves, who they really are and what their gifts are, and be able to find their purpose for their life and be able to start manifesting that purpose so that they can be happier. And the definition of coaching is goal achievement. So anything that any person has a goal, and everyone comes in to therapy or coaching with a presenting problem or a goal, and you can turn that presenting problem into a goal. So they tell you all about the problem, and then you say, what do you want? What would your life look like if it was going how you wanted it to go? And if you could be fulfilled and satisfied and happy, at least most of the time. So that's one of the first questions we ask. And Thomas J. Leonard believed in the Socratic method of helping people. That would be the Socrates, the philosopher, that basically you are asking the right questions and listening with empathy, providing feedback, providing empowerment, and providing encouragement and motivation, and helping people to move forward, and helping them create a plan and a structure for how they're going to get there. Because it's one thing to say, oh, I want to make more money in my career, or I want to go back to school and become this or that. But most people aren't very good at creating a plan. They have great ideas, but they don't know how to start. They don't know how to continue. They don't know how to stay motivated, and they don't know how to work a step-by-step plan. And so you, as a coach, provide that roadmap for them to get where they want to go. And like I said, you don't need to be certified to become a coach, but Grow Training Institute did create a certification program 25 years ago. And it was mostly then for therapists specifically, but we've changed it now to anyone who has a BA degree or who has worked at least 10 years in a helping profession or in some service, human services type of profession where they've been helping people. So you just really need to have a sincere desire to help people. And I'll tell you more about the requirements to become certified by us. There are hundreds of coach certification programs available to you. How do you decide which one to go with? Well, all I can say is ours is the least expensive, fastest, easiest, and most comprehensive program that I have found. And no one's told me they found one that's less expensive or better than ours. So that's a good thing. And where was I? So I guess I'll just go into the requirements of our program right now, and I'm sure you'll have questions about it. But there is a quiz on our website, growtraininginstitute.com, to take to find out if you would be a good candidate for coaching. For me, I already was doing coaching and didn't even realize it, because for me, coaching is moving people forward and focusing on the present and moving people forward. And therapy is more about focusing on the present and moving people backward. Like, where did this come from? When did this start? Tell me about your childhood. And that's really important. And a lot of people do need both therapy and coaching. And a lot of people start with therapy and they work through some of their blocks and their issues, and then they can move forward with coaching. So one of the main differences is that coaches move people forward more quickly, and they give people more structure, and they hold people accountable with timelines so that they can really feel like they're making progress. And it's more for higher functioning clients that aren't in angst. So the way to know if your client is better suited for coaching or therapy is basically their presenting problem and how much emotional upset do they have attached to that presenting problem. And if they present with a goal, I just want to move up in my career, or I just want to learn how to find a better partner for myself, or I just want to get in better shape, then that's easy. They're definitely a coaching client. But if they along the way start showing that they have upset, emotional upset, or blocking, they're blocked from it because of something in their past that they haven't overcome or they haven't worked through yet, then you may want to refer them to a therapist while they're getting coaching from you. Some of the problems you can help them with. Um, but you really have to assess the amount of emotional upset for them. And you have to let them know up front with your informed consent that this is not therapy. You'll be using some counseling techniques, and those are fine. Hypnotherapy is great, EMDR is great. You'll be working, you can help people work through trauma and childhood issues. But if you find that they're pretty blocked to move forward because of some of these issues, then they really need to go to therapy to work through those. And they may need to do that first before they can really work with you. So you're moving people forward, you're helping them to feel like they're making progress. And it's an exhilarating feeling for you and for them. So one of the benefits to coaching is that you just feel so good at the end of each session. And you don't feel like you left them hanging. Like in therapy, I used to feel really sad at the end of the session. They'd want to keep going. There were issues that were really huge. And it was over. The session was over, and I had to let them go. And then I would ruminate over and over and over. Did I say the right things? Did I do the right things? Are they going to be okay waiting a week for our next session? What do I need to do in the next session to, help them get through what they were focusing on at the end of the last session? And I would go through emotional angst for my clients, and it brought me down. So one of the great things about coaching, and the reason I completely transitioned to coaching, is that it leaves both you and your client feeling good. And I think that that's such a huge benefit. Another great benefit is that it can be done by phone, by conference video like we're doing now. It can be done through email. It can be done from anywhere in the world. You can be anywhere in the world, and they can be anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter. And so that convenience is really helpful. You don't have to have the overhead of an office. Some coaches do walking and talking coaching with their clients that are local. So you still don't need an office. You meet them at a park, you walk and talk. You meet them at a coffee shop, go to a secluded area in that coffee shop, or go to their office. You don't have to have the overhead of an office. So there's just so many benefits. Plus, you don't have to bill out insurance. You don't have to deal with insurance companies or managed care or fees. The fees are handled almost all by a credit card, debit card. They give you their number. You just bill out after each session, or you bill out for several sessions in advance. You can use PayPal, Square, Venmo, Zelle, whatever payment method they prefer to use. And so the money issues, the billing issues, you don't have. You don't have insurance issues, none of that. And people are happy to pay your fee. You can earn more money. Counseling is the fees are limited in most areas of the country. It depends on where you are and what your specialty is. And also you're limited to, if you're a therapist, you're limited to only being able to treat clients that reside in the state that you're licensed in. Whereas with coaching, the world is your market. You can do coaching with anyone, anywhere in the world. And a lot of people ask, well, how do I separate my therapy practice from my coaching practice? And that is very important. You have to do, if you want to stay licensed as a therapist, then you have to have a separate coaching practice and a separate business and a separate website. And you don't put your, you can put your academic credentials, but not your licensing credentials on that website. So if you have two separate businesses, that will differentiate, and you explain that even though you are a licensed therapist, this is not about therapy. And I have a sample informed consent and intake form that you can email me and get for free, and it's in my courses as well. So we give you that, and that protects you. Also, with coaching, you don't have a big brother licensing board watching over you, and you don't have as much liability. So we do recommend that you get liability insurance, but it's only about $150 a year for $1 million policy for coaching. And really, it's not a regulated profession by the government, because the government doesn't regulate a profession until or unless there have been a lot of damages to the public. And with coaching, there really haven't been any damages that I know of. The only one that I really know of damages was that one guy who was calling himself a coach in LA. He wasn't even certified, he wasn't even trained, he was just calling himself a coach, and he was coaching parents on how to get their kids into good colleges. And he was training them how to be fraud. And that was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, 7 years ago. But that's really the only one that I've heard of. I'm sure that there are coaches who are unethical, but so far, there haven't been enough damages to where any state in this country has regulated the profession. They probably will in the future. And with our program, we will make sure that we get on the board with any state that starts licensing or certifying, and we'll make sure that we can grandfather you into that. But I hope that it's not a state-by-state deal. I hope it's more of a national thing or an international thing. And GROW is approved by the CCE, the Center for Credentialing and Education. And we are an approved provider for the board certified coach program through them. And so once you're certified by us, you can choose, if you'd like, to become a board certified coach. And that gives you a little bit more credibility, maybe. Most people don't care who you're certified by. They do care that you're certified just because they want to know that you have that training and that you have competence, but they don't really care so much about who you're certified by. We are members of IAC, International Association of Coaches, which is the largest coach organization in the world. But the most popular one is ICF, International Coach Federation. If you want to go through a training program or become certified by a program who is ICF certified, then you're going to have to pay thousands of dollars. It's going to be between $5,000 and $20,000 for any coaching school that is approved by them. The reason is because they only certify coaching organizations that are basically taking anyone off the street. So they have to provide hundreds of hours of training to their candidates. And with GROW, we don't think therapists, particularly people who have been trained as counselors or anything in human services need thousands of hours or hundreds of hours of extra training. Our program is 60 hours, really not even 60 hours, but our courses there's 5 required courses you can do through online or through the mail. It's either whatever you prefer. And they're 10 CE contact hours each, although each course can be done within a few hours. You take a simple quiz on each course. It's a multiple choice, chapter by chapter quiz. And then we also require that you show that you have provided at least 6 hours of coaching to anyone of your choice and have received at least 3 hours of coaching through anyone who you feel is qualified to coach you. Then you write a short 1 to 2 page essay on why you want to become a coach, where you want to take your coaching, what you want to specialize in, fill out our application, and pay the application fee. And right now, for all of you, we are offering the 5-course package for $100 off. So instead of $477, it would only be $377. And the application fee that you pay at the end, rather than $477, would only be $377. So I think the total is $770 or something. What's 2 times 377? I can't think right now. But anyway, so on our website, we have the discounts available to you for 5 days. So that will help you a lot to get this all done. And, you know, I think it's a big step forward in your profession. So I'm just gonna see if you guys have any questions now for me.
Dr. Kelley, thank you so much. Again, I mean, what a great presentation. It's really great to have some new speakers participating in our webinar event. So thank you so much. A really great presentation. I liked really so many of your ideas about being a coach and being a better coach. I thought it was really great. So just to introduce Therapy Sites, we are the sponsor of this webinar series. At Therapy Sites, we work with coaches and mental health professionals to help them create a professional looking website and ensure they can be found online where and when their clients are searching in order to help increase new client acquisition. We encourage the practices we work with to build a website that's a reflection of themselves, but also help them create a marketing strategy that allows them to achieve their goals. Our solutions make it easy to schedule appointments online, create a network of referrals via social media, and even the ability to interact with clients virtually anywhere from our telehealth platform. As a special thank you for all of you folks joining us today, we are extending a special webinar offer for a new website, free for 2 months. So if you'd like to learn more about therapy sites and coaching websites and see how we can help attract more new clients to your practice, feel free to send us an email at webinar@therapysites.com or call us at 866-255-8745. I'll include our contact information in the GoToWebinar control panel so you'll have access to that as well. But we did have a couple of questions, like you said, Dr. Kelley, so let me dive into those. So let me take a quick look at the first one. So as an LCSW, how do I avoid blurring of being a therapist versus a coach? And I think you kind of talked a little bit about it, but if you could maybe
Yes.
circle back to that.
Yes, that's really important. It's a question I get all the time. And so if you're focusing on being an LCSW and you're focusing on therapy for your client, maybe they need to go through their insurance. And so you need to treat them through your therapy platform rather than a coaching platform, particularly if they're using their insurance. So you basically, it all starts with your intake form and your informed consent. And as you go along with your therapy, you can let them know, I'd like to do coaching with you now. I'm going to put my coaching hat on and we're going to work through this. We're going to create a plan for you. and a step-by-step process. And that's all part of therapy. You know, therapists have been doing that for years, behavioral
Right.
therapists particularly. Um, but if you are doing both coaching and therapy, you know, you just really need to let them know that. If it's not a problem at all. And actually, if they know that you have the coaching credentials as well as your therapy credentials, you can charge more because a lot of
Oh,
people really do want that.
interesting.
They really want that coaching.
Right.
And so if you have that, they'll, you know, you'll get a higher functioning clientele and they'll want to access that coaching more often during their therapy process.
Awesome.
And if you are also, if you have two separate businesses, then you just let them know in each business, like your coaching business, your informed consent will let them know because they may find out that you are, you know, a licensed therapist as well. So you let them know up front, yes, I am, but this is not therapy. This is not coaching. I mean, this is not counseling. This is not psychotherapy. This is coaching. And I will maybe use some therapeutic modalities with you that I would also use as a therapist, but it's still considered coaching. I
Great.
don't know if that,
Great.
does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. And I think, I think it just depends on, what the client needs from their coach or their therapist. I think that was what you said earlier. It really just
Right,
depends on what they're looking to get out of the sessions as well. So,
right.
the next question was, what is an appropriate fee to charge for clients on an hourly basis?
The going rate throughout the country is 150 per hour.
Okay.
And if you're doing business coaching, if you're coaching for executives, business career coaching, one of our courses is specifically how to become a corporate executive coach, business coach, entrepreneurs. The going fee is 250.
Wow.
However, right now, if you start your fees at 150 and 250, you can offer discounts. You know, if they sign up for 3 or 6 in advance, you can lower that by 20% or something. Or even your first session, you can give them free or give them a first half hour initial phone consultation for free to see if you're a good fit.
Hmm.
So always offer that free initial phone consult because that's where you'll get them hooked in. People need to know you,
Hmm.
see you, know you, like you, trust you. And so that's really the way to get them invested initially. But my fee is 240 an hour. And for my certified coaches, I decrease that to 200 an hour or portion thereof. You can get a lot done in a half an hour. You can even
Sure.
get a lot done in 15 minutes. And I think it's important, even as a therapist, to offer 15 to 30-minute kind of booster shots by phone or video in between their coaching sessions. Or if an emergency comes up, something comes up in between their sessions, to offer that 15 or 30-minute session for them. And I mean, I only talked to you for not even 20 minutes. And I
Sure.
think I said a lot. We got a lot done in 20 minutes.
Right.
So this whole, you know, coaching can be done so much quicker than therapy.
Right. Okay. Great. One of our attendees has some various certifications and specialty areas. So, um, somatic certification, yoga teacher certification, wellness coach. Would any of the coaching classes that you offer overlap or be considered for points towards the coaching certification that you offer? I hope I asked that right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I really encourage all the somatic techniques.
Hmm.
So in our five required courses, you can switch out. One of them you can switch out. You can either do the how to become a corporate business coach or how to become a health and wellness coach.
Okay.
And if you want both, I can give you both. You aren't required to do both, but I will give you both just so
Okay.
that you have that information, because especially if you're going for the BCCs or, become a board certified coach, they want to know that you have both. They ask a lot of questions on their exam on both of those. So I just created the health and wellness course less than a year ago because there was so much interest. That
Okay.
is the number one hottest niche right now for coaching, is health and wellness, especially the baby boomers,
Mm-hmm.
people my age and over. Uh, we want to be healthy. We want to live longer. We
Right.
want to stay active. We want to be fit, and it's just extremely healthy, popular right now.
Awesome. Thank you. So just to piggyback on that, is creative depth coaching a hot item right now?
Yes, very much so. Creative, oh my gosh, there are so many people who have so much to offer, and they
Mm-hmm.
have so much creative depth. The problem with very, very creative people, if I really highly recommend the Myers-Briggs personality indicator test for all of your clients. And if they find that they're highly creative, they give you lots of suggestions on how to deal with that. But the problem with highly creative people is that they have lots of big ideas and they don't know how to implement them. And they think they do, but they don't. And they don't want to do the work involved in implementing them. So for example, they may have an idea to do a podcast for creating, say, flower arranging.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know how to set up the technology involved in either doing live Facebook seminars, videos, live streaming. They don't know how to set up the podcast. They don't know how to market and promote the podcast and social media marketing, and they don't know how to get a website. They don't know how to link their website to all of their social media. They don't know how to get clients. They don't know how to attract people and keep people in, and they don't know if they should do a live presentation or if they should do a recorded presentation. There's just so many questions. And one of the most important aspects of our certified coach program is that when you buy your 5 required courses, we give you free our course Online Marketing for Non-Techies, because we think that that is the most important part of your business. You could be the best therapist or coach in the world, but if no one knows you exist, you could have the best idea in the world. You could be the most creative person in the world. But if no one can find you and get your information, then it doesn't do anyone any good. So I give you the most cost-effective methods of promoting and marketing step by step in my
Mm-hmm.
book. And I include therapysites.com and coachingsites.com in all of my books. I encourage people to sign up because you offer a wealth of promotional and marketing skills that people don't know how to do, don't want to do
Right.
themselves. You do them for them, and it's worth paying for, because a lot of these creative people, their mind just doesn't go there. Most therapists, their mind doesn't go to the technology stuff. Mine didn't, and it's a big challenge for me. It was even a challenge for me to get ready for this webinar today. So it's a really big challenge, and if you have a group of people like yourselves, therapy sites, coaching sites that can help you along the way and do all these things for you, you can launch whatever idea you have.
That's awesome. Thank you. All All right. So just as an FYI, we had one of our attendees click onto your Amazon link, and just as an FYI, that page is getting a 404 error. So if you have an alternative link, just add that to your
Oh,
list. Add that to your list of things to check out.
okay. Darn,
Um,
thank you for letting me
yeah.
know. You
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Of
go to
course.
Amazon.com and type in Lyn Kelley, and then my
Okay.
books will come up.
Perfect. So, folks, if you guys are looking to see some of her books, just go to Amazon and then just do a quick search for Lyn Kelley, and you should be able to. It should populate.
And by the
And
way,
yeah,
I have actually used you guys, uh,
yeah.
coachingsites.com, for my relationship coaching website, which is janesgoodadvice.com.
Okay.
And you guys helped me create that. And I loved it because it was so easy for me. You give
Awesome.
me the templates, you tell me what to do, and I just type in the information and you automatically, it goes up.
That's
And I didn't
nice.
even have to start paying you until I was ready for it to go live. And
Yep.
you guys gave me so much support. And all I had to do, if I wasn't sure how to upload a document,
Right.
like my informed consent, I didn't know how to upload that so that they could read that over before they start their
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
program.
we want to make it as easy as
I
possible.
would just email you guys, and within 24 hours, you give me the answer how to do it, or you do it
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
so easy, and that is really the only way to go.
Yeah. No, agreed. And we want to make it easy, right? We don't want it to be difficult for folks to
Right.
start their practice and get their name out into the community. So, just as an FYI, everybody, there will be a recording of this session available. And I'm also going to provide Dr. Kelley with everybody's contact information so that if you are looking for more information or you have questions, I want to make sure that you guys are available to get any information that you may need. So, all right, let's dive back in here. So, let's see. So I've been a professional musician and music teacher for 40 years. I've never been a therapist. I'd like to start coaching services for musicians wanting to set up their business aspects. Would my experience count as the 10 years experience requirement?
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
and you don't have to have ever been a therapist or a
Yeah.
counselor to become a coach. You can coach anyone in any field that you're an expert in. And
Awesome.
to do music coaching for people to help people get get their YouTube videos, even to get them started, to get them on social media, to get them their recordings and their CDs done, and who to send them to, who to market to, help them with, getting all of this step by step. That is huge. That is huge
Hmm.
for anyone in the music field.
That's awesome. Do you recommend keeping therapy and coaching businesses separate or combining?
Yes, I do recommend that you separate them,
Okay.
um, mainly because you're going to be magnifying your market by millions and millions of people. If you have a separate coaching business, then the world is your market. There's what, 6 or 7 billion people in the world. Your your market is huge. And with therapy, your market is very local. And
Hmm.
so it opens you up to so much more, and especially if you have a very tight niche,
Right.
like helping people with Tourette's, helping people with autism, helping parents uh, with a particular behavior problem with their child. So the more narrow your niche is, the more the world becomes important to you as a market, because then you're going to be drawing from people from all over who have that specific problem. And if you
Right.
can do a blog or a podcast even on that particular problem, you're going to be drawing more people, more and more and more people to your other services. Maybe you've written some articles or a book, but to get more, you can start making money advertising if you have enough YouTube visitors, if you have enough podcast visitors, then people start paying you, to show their ads or just talk about their ads. So you can become an influencer very easily. But then, you need a coach to coach you on how to become an influencer.
Right? It's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Let's see. Question about what is the difference between the 30-hour and 60-hour programs?
Okay, well, the board certified coach program has a 30-hour and a 60-hour. Hold on, my dog needs to go potty. Oh gosh. Okay. Stay
Hey,
out now.
it's real life, right?
Yes. Oh boy. So they offer a 30-hour certification and a 60-hour certification. And their 30-hour one is for people who have a lot more education and a lot more experience.
Okay.
And so we offered the 30-hour program, and so we then would only require that you take 3 of our 5 required courses.
Okay.
You
All
choose the
right.
3 that you want to take.
Awesome. Well, you've got a fan that's joined us. So I have some of Lyn's books from the past. Just curious on your
Oh,
take on how coaching may be different now versus in the past.
oh wow, it's booming. That's all I can say. It's booming now.
Yeah.
And everyone ugh, wants a coach. Either they already have a coach or they want a coach, particularly in career coaching, business coaching, prosperity coaching, and the health and wellness coaching
Hmm.
and parenting coaching. I mean, you can be whatever kind of coach you want to be. You can be very specific or as broad as you want to be. If you call yourself a life coach, you're going to be
Hmm.
helping everyone.
Right.
But most people come with a specific goal or 2 or 3 specific goals that they want. And I think it's, got a lot less negative stigma than therapy. And so more and more people are willing to access it, and they're willing to pay more money. They're willing to
Hmm.
pay cash out of their pocket at the time of service. They don't blink at it. They feel it's worth it. They get so much out of it, and they are more enthusiastic about
Right.
it, and they are better clients. They
Right.
do what you ask them to do, and they do it by the
Right.
time you've asked them to do it, and you keep moving
Yeah.
forward, and it's just a wonderful feeling.
Yeah. No, that's
And
awesome. That's awesome.
most athletes, professional athletes, have their their sports coach for their specific techniques of their skill. They have a life coach, and they have a mental coach, a mental
Okay.
game coach. It becomes very much, as an athlete, it becomes much more about a mental game once you get to that level, and that gives them all the edge. The mental coaching can give an athlete, make an athlete the difference between a professional athlete and a Hall of Fame athlete
Hmm.
within a year, within 1 year.
Wow.
And so they're all accessing it.
Wow. That's all right. That's great. A question in regards, if I get enrolled in the program, do you provide templates for intake forms?
Yes, we give you
Okay,
all of
great.
them. And I give
Awesome.
them to you in a Word format so that you can modify it any way you wish. You
Awesome.
can add to it, subtract from it, whatever you want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think the answer to this is yes, but I'm going to let you decide because you're the expert. But I know you can't market therapy practice licensing on a coaching website, but can you mention coaching services on a therapy website as an additional
Yeah.
service offered?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of your niches. It's one
Awesome.
of the services you offer. Like if you offer EMDR, you would put that on there. And then I recommend on your website that if you have these bullet points of all the things you offer, and then all of the uh, specialties that you have. I recommend that you have a link on each one that gives them more information about it. So what is somatic coaching? What is EMDR?
Mm-hmm.
What is coaching specifically? And so keep it short and sweet, but let them know specifically what they're getting into with you and that they can choose to
Right.
be involved in that or not be involved in that.
Okay,
You can
fair enough.
do, they don't have to, just because you're uh, trained in a particular field like hypnotherapy. I have one I just certified. She calls herself a hypno coach. Just because you're trained in hypnotherapy as a coach doesn't mean they have to have hypnotherapy with you. They can have a variety of different techniques with you.
Okay. Let's see. What's the next one here? Let's see here. What are the boundaries for people who aren't licensed mental health counselors who want to use therapy modalities in coaching sessions?
Well, like I said, there is a federal law that says you have to be able to prove competency in
Okay.
any service you provide. So you have to be able to prove that you are fully trained in that particular modality that you're offering. And you can't call it therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Legally, you can't call it yourself a therapist or a psychotherapist or a counselor unless you are licensed.
Okay.
You can't call what you do therapy or psychotherapy or counseling unless you're licensed.
Okay.
So you have to be kind of careful about how you word it.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Let's see. We have somebody that's trying to check out from your website and having a little bit of an issue. Do you want me just to provide your email and your phone number?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm just going to repopulate that here in the chat for everybody. So if you have any issues, obviously Dr. Kelley would love for you guys to participate in her plan. So please, ask any
Yeah.
questions that you need to, and she'll get you checked out and help with anything.
Yes.
Um,
Well, maybe our website just got overloaded. I don't know. But they can
let's
also
see.
contact me directly and pay me
Okay.
directly through
Okay.
credit card, debit card, or Zelle.
Awesome. Perfect. We had a question in regards to are you part of any or affiliated with any coaching boards? So what coaching boards recognize your organization within their organization, I guess? Are there
Yes,
any?
we are accredited through the CCE, which is the Center for Credentialing and Education. The CCE has many different branches under their umbrella. One is the Board Certified Coach Program, which we're approved for. One is the NCC, National Certified Counselor, that we're approved for. And our continuing education, I have like 25 continuing education courses on the
Awesome.
website. They're approved by those. And the CCE also has the NBCC, which is the National Board of Certified Counselors. We are not affiliated with them. We did try. We tried to get approved by them. The problem therein is that they will not approve a provider that offers any courses in business or marketing. And we feel that I feel very strongly that I cannot put out helping you as a therapist or a coach unless I help you promote it, because promoting it is probably 60% of the business. Like I
Hmm.
said, you could be the best therapist or coach in the world, but if no one knows you exist, it doesn't do anyone any good. Also, the business aspect of it, how to start a business, how to do your forms, how to do your website, how to get clients, what are the best online directories to be on, how to do BetterHelp, how to do virtual coaching with one of
Hmm.
these organizations, and how to do a bio for Psychology Today. And all of those things are extremely important to your success. And I want you to be successful.
Right. No, that's awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Is similar documentation required after coaching sessions as therapy sessions?
No,
Okay.
it's just important that you lock your notes up and keep your confidentiality. I mean, pretty much your ethical requirements are the same for both.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my books is Ethical Issues for Therapists and Coaches, and that's one of the required courses. And I give you all of the ethical requirements for all of the major uh, professional coach organizations. And
Okay.
you will find that they are almost exactly the same as for the therapy organizations. So whatever you've already learned through your therapy organizations and the licensing requirements, you just keep following those. You'll be
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
And like I said, the main thing that protects you from liability issues is your informed consent and your
Okay.
intake form. Make sure that's in writing and it's been signed. You can have it signed by virtual signature. I
Okay.
have an
Sure.
e-signature form that I also provide for you for free. So you have them fill that out before they start any kind of virtual service with you. And like I said, with coaching, you don't have a board that they can complain to. With therapy, you're more likely to get complaints to the board. And that's a big, awful, horrible thing to have to go through. I've
Right.
done a lot of consulting with therapists who have had complaints on them by the board, by clients who were unhappy with their services, or clients who were just very, very unhealthy and needed someone to blame. And
Uh,
so you have a lot higher risk with your therapy. And then if you get called on the board, you have to hire an attorney unless you have a good liability insurance that will cover all of your attorney's fees and give you the services that you need without a huge deductible.
hmm
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And if you want to keep your license, uh, you have to pay all these penalties and all these fees, and it shows up as you've had violations, and then Google gets a hold of it, and your reputation is ruined, and it's just it's awful.
Yeah.
Whereas with coaching, I mean, between being a therapist and a coach, it's been almost 35, 40 years. Never ever had one complaint, never had one person complain. If anyone
hmm
ever does complain about your coaching, you just give them their money back. That solves it. If they want their money back, give them their money back.
Right. 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 Yeah.
But usually if they don't like your services, they're higher functioning people. They're not going to blame you. They're just going to find another coach that suits them better, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And you might even want to, once you find out that they're difficult for you, you just recommend that you go to a more specialized coach that would be better for you. I can help you
hmm
find one on one of the coaching directory sites
Yeah.
and go from there.
What is the ROI and how quickly can we expect to be profitable? And I'm sure it's different
Return on
by.
investment. Yes. Well, your initial investment to become certified with us is about $770. And so that would take about 5 to 10 coaching sessions at the most to pay that
Right.
back.
Right.
And the only other uh, real, I would say, expenses that you have, you really need the website. And whatever that monthly fee is, well worth it. Well worth it for all the services that you're getting for through therapy sites and coaching websites. Add on to any service they provide. Keep adding it on because it is so worth it to you. Even if it was $100 a month, if it only brought you one new client, that would pay for
Mm-hmm.
itself tenfold right there, or maybe 100-fold.
Right.
So one new client is worth over $5,000 to you. If you put a dollar into the slot machine and in Vegas and got $5 back every time, how many dollars would you put into that machine? You
Right.
wouldn't stop. You wouldn't
Right.
even stop
Right.
to go to the bathroom. So you would, it really is, it's kind of a gamble, but it's an educated gamble.
Right.
And
Right.
you're letting the experts help you, letting me help you, you're letting Andrea help you. And if you go to the people who know what they're doing and have been doing it for years and years and years and years, you're more likely to have a much higher ROI. And my ROI is probably, I put in, oh gosh, maybe a few $100s a month into
Mhm.
marketing and advertising, and I get back at least 10 times that amount, sometimes 20
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I should put in more. I know.
But there
Practice
are
what I
only
preach.
well, there are only so
I
many
should,
hours in the day, right? You're only one
that's why
person.
it's time consuming,
Right.
even though it's not that expensive. And in my book, I give you all the most cost effective ways to do it. The least expensive ways to do it take more time.
Right.
And except I think if you take Andrea up on all of their offers,
Right.
that is going to be your most cost effective way
Right.
to do things.
Yeah. So I did reshare Dr. Kelly's email and website and phone number. We're getting to the top of the hour. We may have a room for maybe one more question or so, but I did share the therapy sites, or I'm sorry, the coaching websites website address and the design gallery, and then Dr. Kelly's information as well. So let's see if we might be able to cover maybe one more question before we run out of time. Let's see.
Sure.
Um, so my question is about liability, especially with issues with our boards. I am an LMHC therapist. How can be so clear with boards? Do you know of any issues with it? Legal issues are one of the worries that worries me the most.
Right. And most of the boards have covered the idea of coaching, and they have it on their website. They may have questions and answers on their website. If not, you
Hmm.
can call them and ask them if they have any specific requirements around using coaching as a modality. Otherwise, your professional association, so whatever state you're licensed in, contact your professional organization. Almost always there's a local uh, organization, there's a state organization, and a national organization for your license type. Contact them because they have the most information on what each state's board is going to say about everything. And they will protect you more than anyone. And so I highly recommend that you become a member of your local associations. We also have, Grow also has an association. It's called Grow Professional Coach and Counselors Association. And we give you a lot of that kind of advice, and I give you a lot of free consultation by phone and video conferencing, any questions that you have.
Hmm.
I'm always studying what's going on in the coaching field, but each state's board is different. Some are
Okay.
very, very, very strict, and some are
Okay.
not.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you for everybody who attended. Thank you, Dr. Kelly, for
Yeah,
participating. We really do appreciate it. I really enjoyed meeting you and listening to your presentation very much, and excited about potentially inviting you for other topics as well.
good
Um,
luck.
so again, thank you so much. There will be a recording available, so check it out. And I've given the websites for both of our organizations, so hopefully that can answer any questions that we may have missed, as well as Dr. Kelly's email and phone number. So um, thank you guys again for attending. Have a
Yes,
great rest of the afternoon, and we'll speak soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.